What started as a small dining room project for 10-year-old Landon Wynn is now helping heal heroes' hearts here in Plainville. The dining room is the heart of the home.
At first, with the first one, I was like, okay, we could just put it on the table.
And it just comes right off.
The second one came and I said, okay, well, it's taking up a lot of room now, and now I just go with it after the third one.
Or for the Wynn family, it's home to their 10-year-old son Landon's 3D printing empire.
And what I do is I make things.
Toys, Stanley accessories, or even the occasional chain for the lucky Fox 61 reporter.
This one is for you.
Oh my God.
That one.
But what he's been making this week hits close to home.
Your sacrifice will never be forgotten, and it says, in loving memory of Ray.
Ray Moreau, the Plainville firefighter who lost his life on the line of duty in late July, now memorialized in bronze and black.
There was sadly a fallen firefighter, and I wanted to make him something special so that way we remember him and maybe put a little bit more joy into the world.
And this creation called for a special delivery.
Firefighter
Landon.
Thank you.
A life and legacy as a hero, now a daily reminder of a friend.
This is what helps us heal. Things like this.
And a new friend.
Thank you again.
Yeah. You're one of us now.
We couldn't be more proud of him. Everything he does is always about somebody else.
And though it may have been made in a machine, it's built with a whole lot of heart.
Got that out.
Reporting in Plainville, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
The city of Meriden announced the closure of its volunteer fire department, Station 6, after decades of operation. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi looks into what this means for the Meriden community.
It was a mix of emotions for volunteer firefighters at Station 6 in Meriden after their many years of service. Now they say it won't be easy, but they'll embrace the change. It's one of the last emergency calls for Engine Company 6 in Meriden. Local and state officials announced the deactivation of the South Meriden Volunteer Fire Department Thursday after serving the community for 117 years.
It's been an honor and privilege to serve the citizens of South Meriden and the entire city of Meriden, and we're grateful for that.
The Volunteer Fire Department has responded to thousands and thousands of emergency calls through the years as an auxiliary company to the city's full-time fire department. Lieutenant June Napolitano is one of the 5 volunteers at Station 6 and has served for more than 7 years. After Thursday's announcement, she recalled those years with nostalgia.
The different lives we've had the privilege to touch and help will stay in our memories, I'm sure. And I'm one of the youngest members. Some of our members have been here 20, 30 years.
But over the years, the numbers have dwindled. Only 5 out of 17 core volunteers have remained. Meriden Mayor Kevin Scarpati says the decision was made based on different challenges, such as declining volunteer participation and a lack of funding.
They're volunteers. What funding is there? Back when we used to have and keep a completely separate budget for this department was about $100,000. And when we were having discussions internally around what potentially we would need to put in the budget was that $90,000 to $100,000 number. And that's for turnout gear, that's for training.
City officials say the decision would not have a significant impact on the community, as the station itself will continue in operation, with the goal to continue the volunteer firefighter program for the younger generation.
And what I say to young and old out there, not as old as I, of course, but if you look upon serving your community in a worthwhile and valued way, public safety is a good venue to be involved in.
As for Lieutenant Napolitano, she says her passion for serving her community won't end here.
Well, I'm a nurse, so I'll probably continue to volunteer. I've recently moved to Wallingford, so I might be looking to volunteer in the Wallingford division.
Although there won't be an active volunteer group, the city of Meriden says all volunteers will soon be honored for the years of service. The last day is December 31st. In Meriden, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
We have more details from a house fire in East Killingly. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot was at the scene, and she has more information for us.
A massive fire destroyed a home Thursday afternoon in East Killingly and sent one person to the hospital. The deputy fire chief tells me they have visited this home on multiple occasions and have found severe hoarding conditions inside. It was an all-hands-on-deck situation in East Killingly as crews from across the region were called in to help fight flames inside a home along Route 101 Thursday. Officials say everyone got out of the home, but one person did not fare so well.
We had a patient inside the building. She was at the rear of the occupancy. She severely burned. We were able to get her out on the first floor. Upon arrival, we had heavy fire coming out of every floor.
That woman had to be airlifted to the hospital by a Lifestar helicopter. Deputy Fire Chief Nate Kite told Fox 61 the fire department has been to that house many times in the past.
This is a frequent house that we visit. It was hoarder conditions. It was not safe for interior access. We did the best we could. We made a quick attempt at a stop. It wasn't able to be accomplished. We backed out, and like I said, we fought from the outside.
Fire officials deemed the house a total loss. Crews had to bring in an excavator to cut into the burned wreckage of the home and extinguish the fire completely. Kite says homes that have hoarding conditions make it difficult to put out fires.
It's blind. It's a real hazard to us, and we do the best we can. When you climb in and you're trying to do a search and you can't search because there's comic books and boxes and milk jugs, and you don't know what you're coming into. So it's a task for everybody every time.
The cause of this fire is still under investigation. In East Killingly, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Tensions hit a boiling point in New Haven. Many people showed up to rally to protect transgender health care and fight back against Trump administration policies. Fox 61's Stefan Reels explains what people want to see from state leaders.
People who came out here to the New Haven Green on Thursday had one message: let transgender kids grow up. And part of that mission, many say, needs to come from protecting health care in the state.
It's a vow that echoes through New Haven.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As protesters push back against recent executive orders from the Trump administration.
Open up those clinic doors.
Open up those clinic doors. It comes 2 weeks after leadership from both Yale New Haven Hospital and Connecticut Children's Medical Center said they would roll back gender-affirming care for people under 19 years old.
This is going to be a huge disadvantage for the trans people in Connecticut.
Among those rallying,
The attack on trans people is an attack on what remains of the welfare state.
community college professor Eric Maroney, who got gender-affirming care at Connecticut Children's when he was 40 years old. He stresses the action taken by the administration against trans healthcare has rippling effects across generations, especially when surgeries aren't usually a factor for children in the trans community.
So gender-affirming care for youth primarily takes the form of counseling and then perhaps something like hormone blockers. Surgeries are never performed on people under the age of 18 and never at the age of 18 without parental consent.
Now protesters are looking for action. They aren't the only ones. Last week, State Attorney General William Tong announced Connecticut would join a multi-state lawsuit to challenge the actions of the Trump administration. The lawsuit claims the White House is overstepping its authority to use threats to pressure healthcare providers. Attorney General Tong released a statement saying gender-affirming care is essential, life-saving medical treatment that supports individuals in living as their authentic selves, and the decision to pursue such treatment should not involve the federal government. Period. Full stop.
There's like an emotional and psychological attack that happens as well, right? When you're constantly being met with a barrage of rhetoric from the media, from politicians, that you're somehow evil, or you're somehow freakish, or you somehow don't fit in society, or you somehow need to be corrected, right? That has a real harm on anyone, but especially a young person who is still developing their sense of self.
Outside of the lawsuit, a lot of attention is now on state leaders as protesters say they want to see more movement in the state to restore gender-affirming care. And that has brought up the possibility from some protesters who say they want to see a special session to do just that. In New Haven, Stefan Reels, Fox 61.
New at 10 here, Governor Ned Lamont has signed new legislation to help curb gun violence in Connecticut. The law holds gun manufacturers, distributors, and stores accountable, and it requires them to implement safeguards against illegal sales and misuse. It also gives victims of gun violence the right to sue companies that fail to take those precautions. Lamont says the law closes dangerous loopholes and proves that, quote, common sense gun policy is not only possible, it's happening.